What I hold in my hands right here is the unemployment rate of different industries in June of 2020. And the reason why this is important is to look at which industries took the biggest hit from coronavirus. And I'm going to explain to why this matters to you and your sanity and your future well-being. But before I do that, let's talk about a couple different things here together. Number one, we all know at this point 55 million Americans lost their jobs to coronavirus. Number two, reports just came back yesterday that the U.S. GDP dropped 32.9%. Let me say this one more time. U.S. GDP in second quarter lost 32.9%. That's like a company's revenue dropping 33%, which is scary, but it's a country, which is even scarier. So now, we know that data. I'm going to give you the unemployment data of the different industries here, but let's go a little bit deeper. Is it fair to say that in the future, there's going to be more pandemics that we know nothing about? Is it fair to say that in the future, there's going to be more viruses that we know nothing about? I mean, if we've had Ebola, MERS, SARS, now coronavirus, all these different kind of flus that came out, we know nothing about it. Is it fair to say that based on what CDC and these experts keep telling us, like Fauci, that the average vaccine takes around 12 to 24 months of testing until we feel comfortable to be able to give it to people? Yes? 12 to 24 months, which means what? The next time there's a pandemic, the next time there's a virus that we know nothing about, there's going to be a president, either Democratic, Republican, or third party, that has to make a decision whether to shut down or not. And no matter what party he is from, if he's Republican, the Republican Party is going to say, the last president shut it down. And he got everybody to wear masks, social distancing, and we got people to not go to school, kids didn't go to school, and most people stayed home, right? If it's a Democratic president, the Republicans are going to pressure to say, you better shut down because President Trump shut down China and you're not doing your part right. And look how many people's lives, and the fear of not getting reelected, that person is going to have to do what? Same thing. So this playbook is officially here to stay. If you know what I'm talking about, it ain't going away, right? Okay, let's say you and I agree on this. If we do, the next time it happens again, do you want to have another fresh start? What do you mean, Pat? Let me explain to you what I mean by this. If you were in a certain industry, you took a big hit, you're not to blame, because who the hell was under the impression that we're going to have a pandemic and we're going to be told to not go to, kids cannot go to school and shut down industries? You and I didn't know that. We've never been through this before. This was the first time. But if it happens a second time around and you stay in an industry that took a massive hit, then it's your fault. First time around, not your fault. Second time around, it is your fault. So let's go through some of these industries. The industry that took the biggest hit, okay, June over June last year, unemployment June of 2020, unemployment of June of 2019. Leisure and hospitality's unemployment rate is 29%, is the highest in any industry. I was in Vegas last week. The place was shut down. People were there walking around, but it wasn't the same. I kept asking all the employees. We went to MGM Grand Arena. We're negotiating a possible 2-year contract. How was the situation? What happened? We've had to let go of everybody. Nobody's been working. It's scary. People are leaving. One of our person that was there, her boss, committed suicide literally last month, married, committed suicide because of the pressure of what's going on in leisure and hospitality. 29% unemployment. By the way, last year, same time, the industry was only 5% unemployment. Then it's mining, oil and gas extraction is 17.8%. Then it's transportation and utilities, 12.9%. By the way, last year transportation and utilities was 4.1%. Then it's information, 12%. Then it's total, 11.2% of these industries. Then it's wholesale, retail, and trade, 11.2%. Last year was 4%. Then it's construction, which is 10.1%. Last year was 3.2%. Then it's manufacturing, 9.1%. Then it's education and health services, 8.6%. Then it's personal and business services, 8.6%. Then it's self-employed, unincorporated, and unpaid family workers, 8.1%. Then government workers, 7.3%. Then agriculture, 5.4%. You know what the lowest one is? 5.1% financial activities, financial services. Last year was 1.7%. The lowest was financial services, financial activities. Why? Why these industries? Why are some of them taking big hits and not the other ones? Okay, let me set this part aside. So for you, you may be watching this saying, well, Pat, man, I'm in hospital management. I'm making 6 figures. What do? You better start making some adjustments. You better start making some adjustments, because that business model ain't going away. These hospitals and these hotels and, convention and all this other stuff, I'm doing business with them. I'm going to be doing business with them for a long time. But as a career, you have to figure out a way to position yourself where you're pandemic proof. By the way, I'm not telling you everybody's leaving that industry. I guarantee you most people don't like change. Most people like to stick to the same thing. Most people don't want to even see any kind of change, because as we get older, the hardest thing to do is change. You become this person that just kind of wants everything to be the same. You don't want that. But that's also a scary place to be. But if you look at these stats and you don't go study how they took big hits, why they took big hits, and how long it's going to take for them to recover, and you keep staying in that industry, and it happens to you again 5-10 years from now, you can't be upset at the government. You can't be upset at the economy. You can't be upset at a virus. The only person you can be upset about is your decision. I chose a certain industry. I chose insurance and financial services. When I chose that industry over other industries, I was studying health and nutrition. I was studying selling pharmaceutical sales because I wanted to go work for a Pfizer company and sell pharmaceutical sales. I knew it was going to be sales for me. I was studying mortgages. I was studying property and casualty. I was studying every single thing to see what was good for me to go into. I chose specifically insurance. I used to be a stockbroker, financial advisor. I chose insurance for a specific reason for me. I did not know that insurance could be sold through Zoom. I wasn't aware of that. So I'm not here bragging myself saying, you know, I did a great job. I made the right decision. I chose the reasons of this industry for a different reason. But then once I got it and the pandemic took place, we realized very quickly 95% of all our sales are now through Zoom. It's not face-to-face anymore. It's all Zoom. So you got to ask, is your business model something that can be accommodated with Zoom? Meaning, if you're a pilot, if you're somebody in the travel industry, can somebody teleport to a different place? It's not here yet. So what's going to be your solution? What are you going to be doing? You have to start thinking about that, because there's nothing worse than being in an industry that keeps taking a hit, keeps taking a hit, keeps taking a hit, keeps taking a hit, and you have to have a fresh start. Oh my God, everything's going good? Boom. Oh my God, everything's going good? Boom. Oh my God, everything's going good. Now, you may watch this and Pat, I disagree with you. I think the next time there's a pandemic, the world's not going to respond the same way as we did this time. I think next time we have a virus, America's not going to respond to it this time. That's your choice. That's your risk. My play, thinking like a general in the military, is I sit there and I say, the odds of that happening again is this, and the odds of being pressured to respond to the way we were this time is this. If that happens, what's my next 5 moves? Then I make my decision. But you'll have to make your own decision as well. So having said that, if you want to get deeper into this topic, I had a sit down with Danielle DiMartino, which is a Fed insider. She used to work for the Federal Reserve of Dallas for 9 years, and she's a pretty well-known economist. Everybody knows who she is in the financial industry. We took this topic and we went very deep into this topic. And if you've not watched that interview, click here to watch the interview. And if you have watched the interview, comment below and let me know your thoughts about today's video with different industries and how it could affect your industry. Having said that, have a great week, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.